I'm now going to introduce a filmmaker who. I'm now going to introduce a filmmaker who is one of the first documentaries I ever saw in a movie theater. I don't think he needs much introduction. The director of Hoop Dreams, the great, the amazing, the director of also the Violence Interrupters, which was the documentary event of last year or 2 years ago, whatever it was. It seems like it was still with me, having seen it. And now the new film is, I got a concussion, I can't remember the name of it, Head Games. Isn't that right? I heard you on NPR talking about it. Yeah, I did. Driving along one day. It sounded great. Here is the stupendous and amazing Steve James. Take it away, Steve.
Well, first of all, I want to give a plug. I've seen I Am Breathing. I saw it at IDFA, and you really should see this film. It has a lot of humor in it. You succeeded in that. It's brilliantly edited, so you guys learned well from the Dutch master, and it's a really, really moving, wonderful film, so you really should see it. And I want to talk to you after this. I feel like I should apologize about the interrupters, because I think at True False 2 years ago, you guys were forced to sit through the 2 hour and 40-minute version. If you saw it here, it eventually got to be 2 hours and 5 minutes, but when it was theatrically released, and then it was under 2 hours when it was on television, because they made us cut further, and eventually there was a CBC version that's like 88 minutes. So I feel like if I was showing it this year, it'd probably be about a 60-minute film. But if you haven't seen it, it's a film about these violence interrupters. That's their title, and they're ex-gangbangers, drug dealers, convicts, sometimes all three of those, who work in Chicago in the most dangerous neighborhoods and try to mediate violent conflict. And so we spent a year in the streets following 3 of them around, and you know, one of the things that all of the interrupters will tell you is that they are, you know, their relationship to the police is problematic, to say the least, because they're out there trying to do work in the communities when there's violence, or sometimes there's a murder and they're trying to prevent a retaliation, but they're not there to try to figure out who did it and snitch to the cops, so the cops don't like it, the cops are really skeptical of them. The cops refer to them as hug-a-thugs. So one of the interrupters we followed was a guy named Kobe Williams, and just to give you a sense of his relationship to cops, Kobe had done 3 stints in prison, and he would tell us that if he went out on a date with someone and the cops would pull him over, the cops would look at his record and tell the woman he was on a date with what his record was. And he would say, why are you doing that to me? And they felt obligated to tell the woman what he'd served prison time for. So the relationship is strained at best. So we were out near the end of our shooting with Kobe, and he was going to hang out with another interrupter, a guy that we had tried to follow actually from the start, a guy whose nickname is Swank. And he's in the film in little ways. He's got this real gravelly voice, and you know, unmistakable guy. And so, you know, Kobe was out on the west side with Swank, and we were filming, and nothing of great consequence happened. And so Zach Piper, who was co-producer and sound person, and I was shooting the film. So we went to a gas station. We were done shooting. We went to a gas station so Kobe could fill up his car, which was one of the perks of having us around. We'd fill up his car. And so we're standing by the pump, me and Zach, who's white, and Kobe and Swank, who are both African American. And we're joking and laughing and having a good time, but just as we got out of the car and started to pump the gas, a police sergeant pulled in at the same time into the gas station. And the guys call them white shirts because they wear white shirts. So so Kobe was immediately like, oh, check it out, a white shirt. Yeah, so we're talking by the pump, and this sergeant gets out. And Kobe said, even before he got anywhere near us, he goes, he's going to be very curious about us. You know, 2 white guys, 2 black guys at the gas station on the west side. And so the cop kind of, you know, he gets out of his car and he kind of like starts to kind of just, it was almost like he was at the prom and he's the guy nobody wants to talk to. You know what I mean? He's just kind of like, you know, kind of inching over toward it. I swear, inching over towards us, and he goes, hey guys. And we went, hey, how you doing? And we just went on talking and kind of ignored him. He stood there for a minute and he went, so, party at the pump, huh? We were like, no, we're just getting gas. And we went back talking, and he kind of, and then he walked into the, you know, where you pay. And Kobe's like narrating the entire, like, he knows cops so well. So he's like, you watch. Now he's going to ask the attendant, like, who we are. And sure enough, we look through the glass, and he's talking to the attendant. He's pointing to us, and the one behind the counter is going, I have no idea who those guys are, you know. And so I said, well, what does he think's going on? And Kobe said, well, you know, there's this credit card scam that you can do. He didn't do it, but he knew about it, where you go to a pump with a stolen credit card, right? And you just hang out at a pump, and then when people come up to get gas, you fill up their gas tank on the stolen credit card, and they give you, you know, you give them $40 worth of gas, they give you $20 or something like that. So everybody's a winner except the guy who got the card stolen. And so right as this guy was coming out of the, you know, where you pay, right as he's coming out, an unmarked police car pulled up to block our way out, and there was a cop in that car. And the sergeant comes up to us and he goes, sorry guys, somebody blew on you. And Swank goes, nobody blew on us, you know. And I'm like, we've been following these guys for a year. I'd heard a lot of lingo. I'd never heard that. I was like, somebody blew on us? You know, to the cop. I had no idea what he was talking about, but they knew it was. He goes, yeah, somebody blew on you. Somebody called in a disturbance at the pump. And so Swank just went off on this guy. Swank is about this tall, but Swank had a reputation when he was in the streets. He just went off on this guy, like, this is bullshit. This is you know. This is all you. There's nobody called anything in on us. And I'm like, kind of going, Swank, you know, like, let's chill here. And the cop's like not having any of it. So I said, Kobe, pop the trunk. And so Kobe popped the trunk, and I said, Zach, let's get our gear. And so I pulled the camera out of the trunk, and Zach pulled the sound gear out, and he puts the sound gear on. And I got the camera, and I start to turn on the camera, and the sergeant's going, whoa, what's going on here? And I said, well, we're doing this film. It's going to be on Frontline. And I said, if somebody blew on us, I want to document what happened. And you've never seen 2 cops disappear more quickly than that. They were gone, instantly gone. And so after he left, I said to Swank, Swank, I couldn't believe the way you went off him, because I knew that normally what the guys do, like when the cops stop them, they're yes sir, no sir, because these guys have records. It would be very easy for cops to do whatever they want with these guys, right? And I said to Swank, I said, why did you like go off on him like that? He said, because I knew with you guys here and that there was nothing to this, that nothing was going to happen to me. And I said, did that feel good? He said, that felt so good. And then he said, and that camera, that's more powerful than an AK.